Good Thursday morning and welcome to Begin in the Word. Our text today comes from the Old Testament book of poetry, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1 through 4. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. This proverb, as with many of the other proverbs that we have studied, is a part of a larger section. The section is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1 through 21. This proverb makes up what is called an inclusio, which we've discussed before. This inclusio begins with the phrase, is an abomination to the Lord, and its counterpart phrase is his delight. Sorry, I advanced the slide. There is his delight. And it ends with those same phrases, abomination to the Lord and is his delight. What this is telling us is this body of proverb is meant to describe for us things that the Lord hates and things that the Lord loves. And found between these two bookends are various proverbs that are not necessarily connected in terms of what they're specifically about, but generally they do help us understand the kinds of things that the Lord does not like, the things that are an abomination to him, and on the other hand, things that are his delight. The proverb that we're looking at today is the first section of this text, and it speaks to specifically these this quick dealing, the cheating that people might do, and the humility associated with that. So let's go back to the text. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Like so many of the other proverbs that we've discussed, these are parallel statements, but they are inverse or antithetic. This first statement is a very negative statement. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. On the other hand, a just weight is his delight. These are antithetic parallel statements, one meant to be the opposite of the other. Parallel in that they are both dealing with our business. We're talking about our business dealings, how we treat people when we do business with them, but they're opposite in that it's telling us this false balance is an abomination, but a just weight is his delight. Think about the business dealings you do every day. And what we're being told is that there is a way to measure our business that we do, our relationships with other people regarding our commerce, our trade. When we take advantage of someone in commerce, it is an abomination to the Lord. When we find ways to misrepresent the truth, when we find ways to shortchange somebody, when we find ways to tilt the scales in our favor in a way that is dishonest, a false way, it is an abomination to the Lord. The Lord hates this kind of thing, and this is a truth that's being established throughout this section of these Proverbs. On the other hand, a just weight, one that is true, one that is accurate, is a delight to the Lord. It's easy for us to lose sight of what the Lord loves when we just focus on, if you will, sort of the do these things, don't do these things kind of approach. What we're being told in this proverb is that the Lord reaches into every aspect of our life regarding his approval and disapproval of what we do. And the Lord delights in a good deal. And by good deal, I mean a fair deal. The Lord delights when you go to the car dealership and you represent the truth to them and you make a sale with them that is just. The Lord delights in that. The Lord delights when you go to the restaurant and after you've paid for your meal, you give a just tip to your waitress or waiter. The Lord delights in that. The Lord finds joy in that. And if you'll think about that, the reason is because the Lord wants us to take on his communicable trait of justice and righteousness. And when that justice or righteousness is enacted in the way we live, every detail of the way we live, it is a delight to the Lord. So as you conduct your dealings with your fellow man, be fair, be right, be truthful. Don't misrepresent the truth. Make the best deal you can, but make sure that deal is based on what is just, not what is false. There's a little bit of a joke here between this first proverb or this first phrase and this second phrase. It is a pun in the Hebrew language. It does not come through in the English language, but it has to do with two words that sound the same. Sometimes in English, we'll have a joke or a pun where two words sound the same. And it has to do with the word wait versus the word pride. I'm not going to try to pronounce those two Hebrew words, but they sound somewhat similar, these two words. And that makes a connection in what the writer of the proverb is trying to tell us. On the one hand, he's talking about false balance and just weights. Now he's going to talk about pride and humility. And what he's saying is that a just weight, something that has weight, is much better than something that does not have weight. And it's almost inferring that a person that is prideful, a person that is arrogant, is actually, if you will, a lightweight. A person that is prideful or arrogant, they're that way because they have no substance on which to base their confidence. There's no depth of character for them to rely on, no depth of intelligence or sophistication in how they think or feel or in what they believe. And so they have to turn to a false sense of pride, a false sense of arrogance. There is no weight with this person. That's what he's describing when he says, when pride comes, then comes disgrace. This person is not substantive. There's no weight to who they are. On the other hand, the humble person has wisdom. The real weight of character, the heaviness of character, comes with a person who is humble. If you want to be taken seriously in life, if you want to be a person that is a person of seriousness, a person of weight, a person who people know and consider to be a person of gravitas or serious, then be humble. That's how it is found. Don't let your persona be one built up of pride because you have no weight in your character. Because when you're built up with pride that's false, where there's no weight behind it, disgrace is coming. But when you approach life with a sense of humility, a sense of understanding who you are, where you fit in God's creation, and that begins with understanding our own failings, wisdom can be found in that. This collection of proverb is what is called a chiastic proverb, and we've talked about that before. It means it builds to a point and then concludes. And I draw it a little bit offset because the real point is this last proverb. But think of it, this first proverb, this first statement has to do with our dealings, our fairness with our fellow man. And this last proverb has to do with our dealings, profit and gain, all matter of fraud and fair dealing, the first and last statement. The two in the middle have to do with our character. And essentially what he's saying is, in this chiastic body of proverb, is that our dealings with people begin and end around who we are in terms of our character. And the first element of our character is being humble. And that brings us to this third line, which is a second element of our character. The integrity of the upright guides them. This is the positive statement. The antithetic parallel statement, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. So these two middle phrases here speak to our personal character that leads us from this first statement to this last statement. This is why it's chiastic. So let's think about the third statement. The integrity of the upright guides them. Personal integrity. This means that you will do what you say, even if it is to your own hurt. Integrity in this Hebrew word specifically means that if you make a promise, you will cross land and sea to keep that promise. This term integrity means that when you say something, you do whatever it takes to make that come true, which speaks to why we should be careful about what we say, because if you intend to be a person of integrity, you will do whatever it takes, including your own harm, to keep your word. The integrity of the upright guides them. This is who you are as a person. This is what defines you. At the workplace, if you tell your boss you'll get something done, then you stay late if it takes it. At the bank, if you tell the bank you'll make your payment on the 10th, you don't make that payment on the 11th. You make that payment on the 10th. Integrity of the upright guides them. It defines who they are. Remember, this is what the Lord delights in. I know it sounds a bit funny, but the Lord loves it when you make your payment on time. The Lord loves it when you work extra hard to get that job done you told your boss you would do. The Lord loves that. On the other hand, the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. This has to do with the dishonesty, the shady dealings, what's wrong within the person, this crookedness, the lies that you tell yourself. The worst lie you tell yourself is the lie you tell yourself. Think about the addict. His crookedness leads him to lie. He lies to get his chemical addiction. The worst lie he tells is the lie he tells himself, in that just another fix and it'll be okay. Just another drink and it'll be all right. Just another time at the gambling table and I'll make that win so that I can recover all my losses. Crookedness destroys them. All of those lead to destruction. The Lord abhors behaviors that are based on us lying to ourselves or lying to others. The Lord finds delight when we deal honestly with integrity. And then finally, if you will, the point of this chiastic proverb, sort of the in conclusion statement. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. And what he's showing us here is that this doesn't just apply in the here and now on this earth, but these truths apply eternally with God. All the money in the world will not help you in the day of wrath. When you stand before the creator of this universe, if you've been a person that dealt with false balances and pride and crookedness, it matters not how much those things gained you. You will be punished. On the other hand, righteousness, the person who dealt with just and accurate weights, the person who was humble, beginning with understanding their own failings, and a person who was guided by their integrity, that righteousness will deliver from death. Thanks for joining us. I hope as you have begun today in the Word of God, you will live out today in the Word of God.